gosh. Okay. I am super excited. So first of all, hello, beautiful bosses. My name is Rosie. I'm the calligrapher and engraver behind Wandercrafter, as well as the creator of the Craft Academy. With the art of calligraphy engraving, I have had the honor of working with amazing brands like Dior, Kerastase, and NBC, just to name a few. And today I have a very special treat for you. I'm sitting down with fellow engraving artist and living legend, Telisa. So she's the calligrapher behind Roessein Art and is the creator of the hand engraving course. So after so many questions about engravers on Instagram, we thought it would be a really good idea to sit down and create an honest review of 5 to 6 different engravers that we have used so that you feel empowered to choose wisely when you're ready to actually pick up the art of engraving or even choose a backup. So I have always wanted to create my own engraving course, but honestly, I love teaching calligraphers how to create a profitable calligraphy business more. So I actually never got to it just because it's so much work. So the next best thing is to actually elevate a fellow artist and promote her course. So if you're interested in learning hand engraving, make sure you check out Talisa's course, and I'll make sure to link that down below in the description. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe for our channel so you don't miss out on any new videos. And without further ado, I present to you Telisa. So
Hi.
Telisa, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We met in like 2019 and we've always chatted on Instagram, but we've never sat
Oh,
face to face. So this is
I know.
super exciting.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us how you got started with calligraphy, what your journey to calligraphy looked like, and what your entrepreneurship journey looks like?
Yeah, so I actually started learning calligraphy in 2018 during my mat leave. I was an HR professional. I started doing it just for a self-care routine. So I wasn't planning to do a business out of it. But I
Hmm.
knew it back in my mind, I was dreading to go back to work.
Yeah.
And I decided to, quit the job 6 months after I returned to work. I had a business coach back then. So when
Mm.
I started from the get-go, because I knew that it was going to be important for me to run a business, market myself, while I continually improve my calligraphy skills. So that's how I got started.
Yeah. And when was that?
This was in 2018, and I launched my business in very early 2019.
Okay. And I
Yeah.
remember like finally getting into like finding your Instagram profile. I'm like, oh my God, she went from corporate to calligraphy. And like, I want to do that so bad. So it was always, you're always like one of the role models for me when it came to calligraphy. So this is just a dream to be able to collaborate on something like this.
Aw, appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so you so you started calligraphy in 2018, you built your business in 2019. When did you start getting into engraving?
So it was in mid 2019. So basically, I had a client who wanted something permanent on a stemless wine glass for her bridal party. At that time, I didn't know anything about engraving. I had a vinyl, like the Cricut machine, but I hate reading so much.
Oh my God, me
And
too.
yeah, you probably know how that felt. And it's also not permanent, right?
Yeah.
So I did, and there wasn't anything available at all. Like I did a lot of Google search. I'm pretty good at like, doing research. I don't like to
Hmm.
ask people. So I did when I don't remember what I Googled, but I came across a website that sell a drill, Tree Line USA.
Hmm.
So if you have a thumb engraver, you're probably familiar with that. So I called the store. For half an hour, I asking about like what tools do I need, what can I engrave on, like what are the bits called, like like everything. That's literally the only research that I was able to get successfully just by that
Hmm.
phone call. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna order this and this and that, and what you told me to get. And then I got it like I think 3 weeks later, and then I started engraving and just like exploring it and trials and error myself, like without any courses or anything, because nothing was
Yeah.
available back then. And then I guess like 2 months later, I started getting booked with like engraving gigs. And that's how I
Yeah.
learned even faster because it was like high volume, right?
Yeah. It's
So
like a sink or swim situation.
yeah, I was literally like just put in the
Yeah.
ocean, try to swim.
So you mentioned that you had the Cricut. Did you ever do like the chemical etching where you like weed out the letters, you put it onto a glass, you put like the chemical on it, and then you have to like tape the rest of it because then it, the
Yeah.
fumes etch it and stuff?
I came across that method, but I thought if I want to do something, it has to be something that I can do on site. And I know with the etching, it requires like half an hour for
At
it to really
least,
etch.
yeah, for
At
like
least, right?
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
So
have
I'm
to like
like,
wait a little bit and then you have to like wash
it's
it off and clean off the leading. And it's
exactly,
like, I can't do
exactly.
this. I
And it's
hate
not
this.
even that deep. It's not even a deep etch. So like if you were to
Exactly.
add
It's
rub and
very
rub, it's not
surface
gonna show.
level. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like to me, like I need a quick turnaround. I can do
Yeah.
like quick calligraphy like by hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I got the thumb drill. But before
Yeah.
that, I got like the Dremel drill. It's like
Oh
another
gosh.
mistake that I got. I
Yeah, it's
think
like
everyone knows
ginormous.
it was not ergonomic at all. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
so
what was
that's how.
also something that drove me towards hand engraving too is because I had the Glowforge, and the Glowforge that's commercially available doesn't
Mhm.
engrave on metal. It's only on like wood and plastics. So
Oh,
I got a job for metal engraving and I couldn't do it. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna try to do this by hand. So
yeah, it is better.
yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome that you were able to teach yourself engraving and really
Mhm.
just, figure everything out. And I think that
Yeah.
really brings value to your course because you're essentially like teaching yourself everything through trial and error instead of just,
Mhm.
reteaching someone else's methods.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
I know we talked about briefly about you becoming a full-time artist.
Mhm.
Was that scary for you? What kind of like mental shifts did you have to go through?
Oh my God. So I'm gonna start with when I was in a corporate HR. It was difficult. It was affecting my mental health, but
Yeah.
I knew that it was going to be high risk for me to let go of that job and then go into full time. But I knew that the risk of me being happy doing what I love
Hmm.
is a better risk than me, paying my mental health for a
Yeah.
job that's secure. So because I have two young kids, I have to be in a good, mental health
Yeah.
condition whatnot. So so I was like really stressed out, and I had like panic attacks and like stress hives being in corporate. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to quit my job. So was it high risk? Yes. I spent all of my investment to building this business, like promoting my business and like, getting a website, networking and all that. That costs a lot of money, right?
Hmm.
But I knew that it was going to be worth it. I did like a lot of research of like, what the people like and whatnot. Of course, I made a lot of mistakes, but I feel like those mistakes made me grow faster.
Hmm.
So I think that's where the high risk is. Like even like I don't even know what's happening next month. But you know what? I actually like not knowing. It's like the adrenaline rush of like, finally I'm
Yeah.
getting contracted from like big
Yeah.
brands. So like it kept me going for sure.
Yeah. I feel like as humans, we need a little bit of stress every now and then. Like
Yeah.
if everything's just going too smoothly or it's too boring or there's no like challenge, then we get really
Mhm.
bored and complacent pretty easily. So I think
Exactly.
that's kind of the fun part of entrepreneurship is not knowing where it's
Mhm.
coming from.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think when you
You
were
know,
telling me the story of like you being burnt out and breaking out in hives and stuff like that, like I actually got
mhm.
chills because like that reminded me of my own experience working in the pharmacy and getting burnt out. So
Oh, I can imagine that
yeah,
pharmacy
yeah,
too, especially during the pandemic.
exactly. Yeah. Anyway, we'll turn this around a little bit.
Yeah.
On to like the meaty part of the interview today. So we're actually going to give you a really brief summary of all of the engravers that we have tried or own in our current kit right now so that you can actually feel very empowered to choose the one that works for you and your business and hopefully be more cost effective than what's currently available right now. So before we get started on that, I have to do a disclaimer. We want you to make sure that you are exercising safety and truly understand how to operate the machines before using it. We can't be held liable for any of these, any damages that happen to you. So really take it upon yourself to learn about the machine, how it operates, and how to make sure that you are doing it safe. So Telisa, I already kind of know the
Yes.
answers to this, but I want to hear what your perspective is. Like what machines do we use for the engravers?
We actually use nail drill. Nothing fancy. So, which means it is available anywhere around the world. If you got nails, you can have access to these drills.
Yeah, literally, you can go on Amazon or Alibaba and look up like nail drill.
Mm-hmm.
It's super easy.
You'd be surprised how similar it is to what you've seen on the Instagram.
Yeah, if you've gotten a manicure, if you've ever gotten a manicure before, you've already seen it in action. So we actually just took that and repurposed it into the calligraphy engraving world.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much. So the secret's out. It's not a Dremel. It's a nail drill. So
it's a nail drill. Yep, it's a nail drill.
Yeah. So how many engravers do you have in your kit right now?
I'm so embarrassed by this, but the ones that are working right now, I have 4, but I'm only probably going to be reviewing the 3 that I like the most.
Yeah, perfect. And then why do you think, is it necessary to have a backup drill?
100%, because these drills are not meant to last forever, especially if you're doing high volume. It could just die like that, even during event and whatnot. And that's why I am an advocate of saying that you need to have a backup if you are an event engraver, if you do live events, or if you do high volume engraving in studio. Can I talk about what happened?
Yeah, please. I want to know.
Okay, so I was doing a brand, a Lancome project, and then it just died in the middle of it. I was using.
Were you at home or were you at the event?
I was at home.
Okay.
I was at home. So sorry, I lied to you. I have 5 drills. Because my thumb is still working.
She's addicted, guys.
Yeah. So back then I only had 3, but I only used 2 mainly. So the thumb and the Mystisa, which is one of them that we're going to review. So I mostly used the Mystisa, and then it stopped working, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Good thing that I have the thumb drill that I originally used from the 3-line USA, and that's safe because I had to pack and ship those stuff the next day. So because I do such a high volume, and I realized that every 2-3 years maybe you might need a new one, a new drill. But again, if you're doing high volume, definitely need a backup.
Yeah, but we've also had the Mystisa too for almost 3 years.
It's almost 3 years now, so I think that's.
I feel like it's about time to either replace it or just have a backup.
Exactly.
So we both have the Mystisa too. Mine is still going strong, luckily, knock on wood. But I did have almost a freak out moment as well. I was actually at an event for Pure Leaf. We were engraving outside. It was 95 degrees at 2 o'clock, where the sun was literally beaming down on me. And the machine was in the sun as well as the handle. And whenever I was engraving for 5 to 10 minutes in a row, I could feel it slowing down. I was oh my God. And I don't have a backup. I actually didn't get a backup until a week after that moment. But I was able to just pause it, let it sit for 10 seconds, and then it came back as normal. And I was oh, thank God. So from there, I just had it in my pocket. So it wasn't in the sun anymore. But it's definitely a horror story, and I would hate for that to be the situation for anyone else. So I think that's going to be a good segue into going into how we're going to rank the engravers. So we're going to try to keep the interview to under an hour. And the way we're going to do that is to review it piece by piece and rank it with an overall score of 10 so that you guys can, kind of keep track on that and see which one works best for you. So we'll talk about 6 different categories that we're going to rank the engravers, and we'll explain why that's important. And then at the end of that, we'll rank it out of 10 as a big summary. So we're going to talk about the 6 categories, which is the price, the size and the aesthetic, the controls, the speed, and the handle. Oh, wait, that was only 5. And the 6th category would be a score out of 10.
And the handle.
Did I not say that? I must have skipped that, right?
I think you did quality and then
price, size, control, speed, quality, and handle. Sorry, yes, that's 6. And then overall score out of 10. So price, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. The engravers are definitely an investment, and most of the ones that we're reviewing are over $100, and the Mystisa is probably the most expensive. So we'll talk about that one first. Especially if you're going to have multiple backups like Telisa does, you should, price is important. We want to save as much as possible. It is an investment, but at the same time, the more we spend, the more we cut into our profits. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the size and the aesthetic. So Telisa, do you want to take that one?
Yeah. So it's very important as a life event because we are presenting our brand and we want to look like, have a good luxury aesthetic. So, I guess depending on what your aesthetic of your branding is, mine is usually like I like black. The reason being is, well, because one, it's my logo, and then also like the luxury usually want you to wear all black. So I tend to have everything in black. So if it's like it fits that, and then you can get so many different colors. You can get pink, purple, like diamond. I don't know, so many. So, but
I know I saw a rose gold one. I was like, oh, I want that one, but it's not my aesthetic.
Exactly. No, if I would for myself, I would get green because you can tell I like green.
Yeah.
But like it wouldn't go with my branding. So so I think aesthetic is a huge factor for a lot.
What's also important is the size too. So everything that we have is portable. We have to be able to carry our entire kit on site. And, I've done stuff outside, I've done stuff, in the middle of a field. So like, it's important to be able to carry all of that in one go instead of, trying to find a plug in the middle of, everything going on.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And then we'll talk about the controls as well, which is basically just the base of the machine. For me, what's important is how fast you can either decrease or increase the speed and how long it takes to actually get to that maximum speed that we're looking for. And then Telisa, I feel like you're more pro at this, but like how fast do you recommend, like what speed do you recommend someone to get for an engraver?
I recommend going up to 35 at the most, but if you can go to 40K, that's even better because for glass, the higher it is, the smoother the line looks, right? If it only goes up to like 20 to 25, it'll look chippy and it also harder for your hand. So the highest is, I would say 35 to 40. So that's a good, it'll allow you to engrave very smoothly, achieve that like smooth line.
Yeah, and we'll put in some videos as well so you can compare those too. And then as far as the quality goes, I think the main thing that we worry about is like how long the machine's going to last, as along with like what the quality of the engravings are. So Telisa kind of mentioned that, but we do want the smooth engravings because, we're pretty OCD. We want to have some pretty smooth lines, and that's kind of where the beauty of the calligraphy comes in. Do you want to explain what the handle is?
So the handle basically will tell you if it is brushless or not. What brushless means is that you don't feel that vibration, which also, again, allows you to engrave smooth line, and also ergonomically, it won't hurt your body after a long period of time of engraving, right? So it does. So it's to reserve the hand fatigue and gripability, and also like what burst size that can fit, because you wanted to go with the one that is a popular burr size, right? Not the one that like you have to look somewhere else, or like you have to look for you have to get a sleeve or something. So that I think is very important.
And then what size do you use?
I use the regular bit size that nail esthetician use, so which is 2.35 inch, or sometimes they call it
3/32 or 3 over 32.
I don't know how to say it. 3/32.
Yeah. So speaking of that, because I know there's 2 different burrs that we typically use or, recommended out there. So we've got the dental burrs along with the standard nail esthetician. Yeah, that one. Which one would you recommend? Because I know you've used
I recommend the long shaft. I don't like the dental drill because it's so small, which means that it's really close for you to engrave, and it's not ergonomic. I cannot produce a clean line with the
Mm,
short dental drill. It also doesn't last forever. Like, it doesn't last as long as the long shaft. I
yeah,
mean, if you think about it, the dental drill is for teeth,
right.
right? So your
Yeah.
teeth compared to like diamond,
Are they?
right?
So
I
is the
don't
dental burr also coated with diamond?
Uh, sorry, it is. But like the thing is that the long shaft is basically for jewelers, right? The dental is for
Oh,
teeth.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm just and I just find that the lines with the dental drill, it looks a little fuzzy.
Mm,
And it doesn't last as long as the longer shaft. And I find that because it's a longer shaft, I can create flourishing easier, so because it doesn't limit my mobility because it's not
yeah.
being too close to the surface. So if you think about like when you're doing calligraphy or like brush lettering, you don't write it like so close, right? And
Hmm.
you go back a little bit because that allows mobility to
Hmm.
allow your beautiful strokes, your ovals and whatnot, and that's why I feel like the long shang of the burr is better for you to be able to engrave as a calligrapher.
Yeah.
So.
So that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Mhm.
And I also have another horror story from one of my students. She was at a live event at Neiman Marcus and ended up losing like the adapter because the diamond burrs are skinnier in shaft. And so it needs an adapter to go into the handle. And she lost that little adapter because it's so small. She lost about 30 minutes of like engraving time and had to stay after while her like partner brought in the right burrs because she didn't like bring the backup ones either. So always have backups because you never know what's gonna happen.
You never know. Yeah,
You
you'll never know.
just never know.
Oh,
Okay, so then overall score out of 10, I feel like that is pretty self-explanatory. So from here, we can move on to the meat of the interview. Let's go over the Mystisa 2 first, since we both have it. We both have been using it for many years now, so we have a lot of experience with it. And that was, it was the recommended machine at the time, when we were first getting into like the engraving industry, because there wasn't a lot of information out there back then. There's a lot more information out there now, and it's going to be really good for us to have this out there in the world too. So Mystisa, do you want to kind of walk through the Mystisa 2?
um, yeah, I mean, I think I got it from in 2019. So I think we both got it at the same time because you were
Yeah.
the one doing the personalization plate.
Hmm.
It is expensive, I gotta say. It's the
Yep.
most expensive thing. Not only that, because I'm in Canada, I had to pay extra $140 on top of the changing from USD to Canada. So overall, it was $500
Ooh.
just for the drill. Um, yeah, so it was
Oh my
very
gosh.
expensive. And because I'm
Yeah.
in Canada, I cannot get warranty. So if anything breaks, I'd have to pay extra shipping to get it, fixed, and then
Hmm.
pay additional $80 or maybe $100 to get it fixed. So like
Oh
I
man.
would have to pay additional $150 Canadian dollars where I could just get another one. So it
Yeah.
is an expensive. It's an expensive to drill. One of the most expensive thing that I've ever
Hmm.
had to buy. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
uh,
I mean, at the time, I feel like it was a really good investment just
yeah.
because it was, kind of top of the line of the nail drills.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things that like people just recommended, right? Like there wasn't a lot of
Yeah.
professionals out there who were sharing information.
Mhm.
And several professionals recommended that. So that's kind of what we got.
Mhm.
And, with experience and research, we actually were able to find some more. So we'll finish the Mistisa 2 review, and then we'll give you
Mhm.
the other review so you can make that decision yourself. So
Yeah.
this is the Mistisa 2. Um, so the aesthetic, you can kind of see, it's got a gray base, and then we have the cover that was laser engraved by the Glowforge. The controls are down here, And then there's also a reverse on the side as well. So if you're left-handed, you can go reverse with this push of a button. And to turn it on, all you have to do is turn the dial, and then it turns on to 0. And I'll hold this so you can kind of hear what it sounds like when you speed it up, and it goes really fast. So this one goes up to 35,000. So it speeds up super fast, and you can go to pretty much any speed depending on what you're engraving. So it's nice to be able to see the number on there. As far as the quality, well, do you want to say anything else about the controls?
No, I'm gonna let you because
Okay.
I don't have my Mystisa with me. It stopped working, mine, by the way. So I can't really do any reviews on it because it stopped working.
That's really good. Good point. I forgot about that. So the max speed is 35,000, which again is definitely the recommended. I think anywhere between 30 to 40,000 is a pretty good speed to do glass on. And depending on the type of glass that you're engraving, you can even, go lower than that depending on how fragile it is. From there, the quality of the engravings I think are pretty good. I've been able to pretty much engrave almost everything. The only thing is I guess this is a good thing about the Mystisa, but you can really push super hard on the handle and it won't skip. This will continue spinning no matter how hard you're pushing into the glass, which is really nice. The downside though for me is that I tend to grip my engraver really hard, and so I end up because there's not too much of a grip on the handle right here, it's just really hard for me to control it and hold it really well. And then when I'm also pushing super hard, that's causing more hand fatigue. And, after 4 or 5 hours of engraving, I am super sore, all the time, for days. I don't know if that was something that you experienced.
So I'm a light-handed. I'm very light-handed. So even calligraphy and brush lettering, I'm light-handed. I always go with the flexible nib. So for me, when I hold I'm literally, it feels like I'm painting, because I let the drill do the work. So I never push it down. Yeah. So I think that's a personal thing, right? When someone, this is obviously has nothing to do with the drill at all. It's more of the user, right? You could be light-handed or you could be heavy-handed. So so the same thing when you're heavy-handed, you might get tired fast. I used to be heavy-handed though.
Really?
But I kind of trained myself to be light-handed. Now I can actually engrave for 10 hours and I'm okay.
You can fix it then. Okay. I have room. I have time to change.
No, you can definitely do it. Yeah. But that's for another day.
Cool. So another thing about the handle is that of course it fits the regular burrs, so the 3/32 inch burrs. In order to take it out, you just twist it and then take it out. To put it back in, you just pop it in and then twist the other way. And now it's stuck in there and then it'll spin naturally. This one is a brushless, so if you were to put it on the ground or the table and turn it on, it's not going to vibrate too much, which is really good for hand fatigue and just preventing that. What is your overall score out of 10?
Wait, before I give the score, I do want to also mention a lot of people who get the Mystisa from RAM products, they have a different handle, which is it's fatter one, the lab one. So it's a lot fatter than what we got.
Oh, interesting.
So ergonomically, it's probably not the best because you're holding a bigger, probably heavier handle too. And then the burr, the burr size, what do you call it? It's actually not the same as what we got, not the 3/32.
Oh, really?
I believe it's the same as thumb, which is 1/8. No, 1/16 is the smaller one, the dental one.
Oh, okay.
I always forget which one, but I know that it's not the regular size of a burr size for the nail bits and whatnot. So you would have to definitely get a sleeve to use the 3/32 inch. So I wanted to mention that. So because it's, and I'm gonna say that the bigger hole is actually not the regular size that you would
Right.
find on
I think that was like
most.
the Dremel one, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like a bigger, so it's really harder for you to find the burst,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I am going to score it 7 out of 10 because one, the price is way too high. Second, I do receive a lot of people complaining about it, like where it stopped working after
Mm-hmm.
second use or like after 6 months, which is really bad for
Yeah, for something
something that
that's
you're paying this
$400.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've literally got a lot of people DMing me complaining about that. And for me, like, I thought it was really good because it's lasted for me for 3 years. But like,
Yeah.
for it to stop working after 6 months and having to mail it to the RAM products and having to
Mm-hmm.
pay for shipping and having to pay for like, you know, additional money for to get it prepared,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money being thrown out there. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can definitely use that money to buy another
like
engraver,
3 more.
3 more engravers
Yeah.
that are probably equal in quality and better in price. So
Yeah.
I would have to agree with you. I would say a 7 out of 10 just because of the price primarily. But as far as the this quality of the engravings and the machine itself, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think if you are in the live event industry and you're trying to get something more affordable, I think you can get some of these other ones that we're going to talk about that are better in price and equal in quality. So
Yeah. Mhm.
it'll just be a better investment for you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're getting multiple, if you're going to get
Yeah.
like two and
At
have
least you
one as a
know to, yeah.
backup. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So the next one we're going to talk about is the customizer. This one is probably the most affordable, and I was actually gifted this by Culiau. The price is $47.99, and it's actually, this is literally it. Like there's no cord to it. You literally charge it from the back over here, and then you can adjust like the price, the speed here. So it's nice because it's super small, it's handheld, it's battery operated, and there's no base or extra cords that you have to worry about. So it's also super light. Like you can literally put this into like your backpack or something, like if you're going backpacking or something like you see like a nice piece of wood or like stone that you want to engrave, this is like nice to just have. It goes up to 25,000 RPMs, and the way to control it is through this red button. And you can hear how loud it is. And then, so there's 3 settings, and it literally just says 1, 2, 3, and that's the
Oh,
slowest, which is kind of nice, but like,
yeah.
I want to know, I guess, I don't want to have to calculate what's 25 divided by 3 if I'm like engraving plastic or something, if I want to go lower or in the middle. So that's kind of a downside for me. When you put this on a table and you turn it on, it's actually like it vibrates pretty heavily. So that's an indication that it is a brush motor on the inside, which again leads to hand fatigue and just having to grip it harder to control it, and you won't be able to get the clean lines that you want. As far as the quality, I think it's pretty good for what it is. It again max is 25K, so it's not the cleanest. And then again, like the handle is a brush motor, so it vibrates way too much. For me, the price is nice. I would rate this probably like a 5 out of 10. So, it's just
What's
nice to have as a backup.
what's the battery life like?
This one unfortunately lasts a really long time because the first one that I got actually had a major glitch, and I guess this was one out of like 10,000 that glitched that way, but like it wouldn't turn off. So it was literally vibrating for 4 hours.
Oh my God.
So they sent me a replacement. This one's better. It doesn't do that anymore. It's not possessed. But I had to like put it into a slipper because it vibrates so hard. I put it into like a padded slipper and put it in like my bedroom closet, and you could like hear it for hours.
It's kind of embarrassing. Like, what is this? Something that vibrating in your
I know. I can explain. But yeah, 5 out of 10 could do better. But it has its place. You know, if you're going
Yeah.
backpacking and you feel the need to engrave or create some kind of art while you're out there,
Mhm.
this is the way to go. If you're also traveling for the holidays or something and you like don't want to bring your entire kit with you, like that's pretty good too. So
Okay.
oh, and then sorry, the last thing is in order to get this thing out, you have to use a little like L clamp thingy to like take it out, which is kind of a bummer. Like it doesn't twist off or anything, so you have to have that little like L shaped machine thing to like open it and then tighten it. So
that's a process.
Yeah, definitely a process. Cool.
Yeah.
Any questions about that?
Nope, not at all.
All right, perfect. So let's move on to the Siminail.
Okay, so I have the Siminail here. I got this from AliExpress. So the shipping was about 2-3 weeks, and the price is really good. In Canadian, it's $150. So in USD, it's about 100 to 120. You might get like different price range. This is a brushless one, which means that it doesn't move if you turn it on. And the cord is short. So this is a personal thing. I'm not a fan of cord short, just because I like when I'm moving, it just sometimes this thing moves as well because it's so light. Yeah. Like I want it to like just stay, but it like, you know, so that's why I'm not my favorite when it comes to like that. So I'm going to turn it on. So it's very sleek, right? The aesthetic part, it's like amazing. And it has the start button. It's exactly almost like the Mystisa. So you know, like the button and everything. So and then you can change the rotation bit. So I'm gonna turn it. I always forget where is the what's it called? Oh, it's the other way around. Sorry, see, it's so hard to see. Like, where's the front part?
It's too sleek.
Yeah, because they look exactly the same. I'm like, where's okay? So hold on. I don't want to see a glare. So it shows, you can hear. It's not loud at all. Sorry about the glare. So you can see that it's like it goes up to 35, and then if I want to pause it, it pauses right away. So it has a short rotation, doesn't take that long. So it's exactly like Mystisa. I'm gonna say this is probably exactly the same. And I've actually taken this out for a live event as well. For I think I engraved about 60 bottles. And it didn't like I like the battery is still good. I think it was it has a really good battery life for sure, because it was really busy. The speed is 35K. I think I don't remember if I mentioned that. So and it remembers, so you can pause it, you can play again, and then just, you know, turn it down. And it's just, I feel like this is exactly like the Mystisa without the price tag of Mystisa.
Yeah. Oh, I think one of the things that I forgot to mention is that the Mystisa also pushes to pause. So you can like turn it on. Yeah. And then push to pause and then push to restart. Yeah.
Which is what you want when you do
it's really nice, so you don't have to like restart the whole thing again. Yeah.
This is the handle. I mentioned that this is brushless.
It's super sleek.
It works. Yeah, it's like really like, I don't know, I love it. Yeah. So the same way as the Mystisa, which is you just kind of like unlock it and get the burr out. This fits 3/32 inch or 2.35, and you put it in, same thing, lock it. And yeah, it's I honestly really like it. This goes up to 35K, which is like perfect for any engraver, for a calligrapher engraver. The price is really good, and I actually use this as my backup for live event because of the aesthetic look. I'm giving it 9 out of 10.
I like
because yeah, because I want to show you the one that I like the most.
Yeah. Show us.
Yes. Oh, you want me to show it now? Okay.
Yeah, show us now. I don't think I have any questions about that, just because I feel like it's pretty in line with the Mystisa. So
yeah. Oh, one thing that I also want to mention about the Siminail, this black rectangular. When you're ordering something from AliExpress, because they send it to all over the world, you can choose the charger, you know, if it's like the UK or like,
Oh, okay.
what do you call that? You know,
The
the type of
outlet thing,
the prongs. Yeah,
the
the
thing that
outlet.
goes into the
Like,
outlet.
yeah,
I
because
don't know
like
what it's
every
called
country is
either.
different, right? So you can
Yeah.
choose. So you make sure that you get the right one. So
Hmm.
that's what I like about getting something from AliExpress. And I'm gonna say the weight for me to get the drill is exactly the same long weight when I was getting the Mystisa as well, because it's
Oh,
international.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
then
and you
yeah.
can open dispute if there's anything wrong with it. You can return it, no extra cost at all, within 15 days after receipt. So
15
that's why,
days or
yeah,
50
that's
days?
why I took it. I took it to Life Event right away.
Okay.
Yeah. So it got a good rating, so no issue at all. I
Cool.
mean, that's why you want to double check everything and then test it out first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the next one, which is actually my most favorite, is this little baby. It comes
I
with
know.
a
I'm
case.
like, I want one of those.
Yeah, this is the case. Okay, the case. So it has like I'm gonna open it. Hold on. The only thing that the case is, sometimes it's just like it's not like super great design. So I'd have to like fix the door sometimes, but it's an easy fix. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So this is the drill. It's so thin. It like literally like it's like
It
a
looks
phone.
so pretty.
It's so sleek. Like I cover it with my logo because that's what it would say, like Yokefellow. Yeah, so this is where the screen is going to be at. And then hold on, let me take out the hand piece. At first I thought like, what is it wireless? It's so cool, but it's not. It has the additional the cords that attaches the handpiece and the motor. So I'm gonna attach that right now, and it has the cover for the handpiece. Okay, so it's like black, and they have like different colors too, but I chose black for obvious reason.
Yeah.
My right. So what I like about this is because it comes with a case. So you can just stand like this. This is what it would look like.
I want that just because of the case.
It saves so much space. And guess what? It's also not super, it's over $100. It's 100 USD. So it's like about 135 Canadian. No extra cost for shipping, I don't think. So it's like free shipping. So I think everything that's over 100 is free shipping in AliExpress. I'm not sure.
Oh, cool.
It could be. I could be wrong. Yeah. But I didn't pay for shipping. So this is what looks like. So it's the same as any nail drill. You unlock, take out the burr and put it back in, and then lock. And it fits regular burr size, which is 3/32 inch or 2.35. So I took this to an on-site last week. The battery life is amazing. It didn't like reduce any battery bar at all. Like, and I was busy. I was at a conference.
Yeah.
Trade shows are busy.
Yeah.
Nonstop. It was still full after like 6 hours.
Yeah. And the coolest part is that you can put the burrs, like your extra burrs and your supplies, into the case.
I put the burr inside here. So everything just looks so sleek. And the ones that have like, old burrs, I put it in this little thing that this is supposed to be where it's just so nice and sleek. And I'm gonna show you what it's like in terms of the drill itself. So it has the I don't know what this, it says it has like in and out for like USB-C and regular USB. I think you can use it as a power bank as well. You can use this as a power bank, I think.
My mind is blown right now.
Oh, by the way,
is that also how you charge it?
Yeah. So the charging, so the only downside is that the charging is a bit longer, but the battery life I think it's worth it. Yeah. Charging took took 5 hours, I think, but it's a USB kind of charger. So maybe that's why. Yeah. So there's a pause button here. Oh, sorry, right here. So the way that you turn it on is basically by, oh, sorry. It's also I'm still getting used to this, sorry. So it does take 3 seconds to turn it on. Right now it's on pause. And then I'm gonna turn it on. The last time I used it was at 40K. So it remembers the last speed that you had it on, even though it was off.
Amazing.
Right?
Yeah,
but
I'm getting that one.
And when I was doing on-site for 6 hours, I didn't turn it off at all. I just let it pause when I'm not doing anything. So yeah, and then so basically I'm gonna go all the way down to 0. So it is a long rotation, but it doesn't bother me at all. It's just a split second, you know, having to go up, and the higher it goes, the higher the key of the drill. And yeah, honestly, this is what I love the most. The Yokefellow. It is. I bought this from AliExpress. I didn't find it from Amazon. And yeah, I took a chance on this, and I love it the most. And I would say this is like, if I could do 11 out of 10, I would go with 11.
I think everyone in the engraving community is going to buy that one now, and we're going to take over. It's going to be replacing the Mystisa.
Yeah, and there's so many different colors.
Oh my God, I saw that. I need that. I need all of it. And then we'll put the links for all of these products down below in the description, so you can choose it for yourself as well. But yes, I saw all the different colors. I saw purple and pink and rose gold. So I love it.
Just make sure that you get, oh, I forgot to mention, this is 40K.
Yeah.
So you saw
to the
it
35.
went all the way. Yeah. Not super necessary, but it's great for someone who's a light-handed engraver like me. So I like literally just let the thing work. Yeah. And yeah, love it.
Perfect. 11 out of 10. Cool. So we'll go on to the next one, and that one is the Lug X. Give me a second. I'm all tangled up. Okay, so I got this from Amazon. I don't even know how to say this, but this is Lug X, and it's the I think it's the luxury like nail drill for people in China. And so this is, I even got like an air filter from them, and it's like super bougie. It comes with like a really nice box, and it's bougie. It's perfect for the aesthetic. So I got this from Amazon. I'm sure you could get it from like their website, but I haven't really done research. I just wanted to get it within the 2 days, you know, so I could use it for an event. It's $135 on Amazon. It's black, it's sleek. You can clip this to your back pocket if you want to, but I might take that off just because it's not super pretty. It does have the forward and reverse button. It doesn't have a cool charging feature like Telisa's does, but this is how you charge it. And this is how you like take out the handle. It's just very satisfying. I like how that feels. To turn it on, you have to hold the button, and then it's on 0. There's normally 3 buttons or 3 lights on here, but I haven't charged it since I used it, and I used it for a 4-hour event, plus I engraved at home for like 2 additional hours, and it's only gone down 1/3 of the battery life, which is super nice. In order to spin it up, it's also a dial, and I just go for it. So it's super quiet, as you can hear, and I think it's quieter than the Mystisa, so that's super nice. And then you can push to pause.
I can't hear anything. It's that quiet.
I know, it's so quiet. What is super nice about this, I mean, is that the handle is just amazing. It's brushless as well, so like very rare like vibration. I love this like ridgy part because it just helps the grip a little bit better. So you can really just, you know, let the engraver do the work. So that's going to teach me how to be really light-handed. Along with that, if you push this too hard into the glass, it'll skip. And so for me, that's a reminder for me to, have that lighter touch so that it's, more dainty and I can just relax my hand a little bit more. I think in the holiday season, it'll be really good for me to use this one. So it reminds me to like chill out and not put that much pressure onto it. It is a little bit heavier than the Mystisa, but it's easier to grip because of the textured metal. It also has the cord, the coil cord. For me, like, I don't really mind it. I actually like it better because the Mystisa one has like all this extra real estate that I don't need, that I get tangled up in sometimes when I'm going too fast. So I actually do prefer like the cleaner setup that this provides. For me, oh, sorry, I think it was started. And then to turn it off, you hold it for 3 seconds and then it goes away. For me, I think that was definitely my favorite so far. And even though I have, the Mystisa works for me, I think I will probably end up using the black one a little bit more. For me, the score out of 10 is probably a 9.5. The only reason why it lost half a point is because of the skipping portion. But again, I'm going to use that to my advantage. So that concludes our 6 engravers that we've reviewed today. Just so that we don't keep everyone here for another 20 minutes or so. Which one is your favorite and why?
Well, I kind of already mentioned the Yokefellow is my favorite.
Yeah, mine too, actually. I think if I need to buy another one, I'm definitely buying that one.
Yeah.
And then my favorite is the Lug X, just because it's so slim and sexy to me. So I'm excited for all of the information that we just dropped for everyone. It's going to be so helpful for people to be able to do their own research and find the engraver that works for their aesthetic and their business, and really just give that knowledge out there. So cool. So let's do some last minute questions and then we will close the interview. What are some of the biggest challenges that you experience with your business?
I spend money on marketing that I realized became a waste of money. So so I think knowing how to market before you spend that money is important. Like definitely spend money on like training, getting coach or mentorship, someone who's been there. That's a better investment than paying for marketing, because most of the time
they don't convert. Nope. I've also lost several hundreds of dollars trying to do Yelp and stuff. Yeah, it's not a good investment.
It's not.
For advertising. Organic traffic means so much more than that. So definitely know where to put your money on. That's really good. What advice would you give to someone who could be struggling with their business and just wants to be successful?
I think what I'm noticing when someone's not sure is because they don't know their why. Now, I know it's like a very so kind of like, what do you mean your why? But why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do calligraphy? Why is it just for the money? Because if it is just for the money, you're gonna hate it, because the first year is gonna be hard. If you know your value, your foundation, mine has a lot to do with my personality. So I'm an ESFP, which is the entertainer. So I like to show up and, entertain people through calligraphy and illustration. That's my little why. And have to be open-minded with like new strategies, new marketing, new technique, open to learning to different teachers, that can really accelerate your business growth, and be open to making mistakes.
Yeah. I think that's really good advice. And for anyone who doesn't know this, Telisa is not part of the Craft Academy. She's her own badass biz boss over in Toronto. I already started I started Craft Academy in 2021, and she was already successful, so she obviously didn't need it. But our very first module actually talks about mindset and figuring out your why and your business. So it's amazing that you were able to echo that. And it really just comes down to like, that's the foundation of your business, is knowing your why and knowing why you're doing what you're doing, and not just doing it for the money, because money is going to come and go, but your passion's always going to be there. So
for sure. And mind you, I actually had a business coach too, but my business coach was not in artistic at all, just like a generic business. I wish I had someone who's like, like Rosie back in the days. I would have probably
Oh,
accelerated faster, but
yeah.
I just had to transfer everything that I learned into calligraphy and engraving.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
really just making all those mistakes yourself. For
Exactly.
sure. All right. So with that, if you are looking for a brand new, super sexy service to your list of services that you want to offer, I highly, highly, highly recommend Talisa's hand engraving course, which I'll link down below. She is completely self-taught and she shares so much information for free. So I can only imagine what kind of information and knowledge is in her jam-packed course. So maybe definitely take a look at that. And if you want to take it one step further and create that profitable calligraphy business of your dreams and reach those goals, book a call with me and let's see if the Craft Academy is a good fit for you. So with that, Telisa, can you tell us where we can find you?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm very active because I
Yeah,
love socializing.
the entertainer.
Yes, because I'm the entertainer. And I'm also on TikTok just to kind of like, be just another, a different crowd and whatnot.
Mhm.
And you can also find me on my website, roseinart.com, and that's where I update my services and whatnot. So I do calligraphy, engraving, and bottle painting now, thanks to Michelle.
Woohoo.
So yeah, that's but my main baby is hand engravings, and it's like I literally know too much about hand
Yeah, a
engraving.
little bit too much. It's like
A
almost
little bit too
obsessive at
much.
this point.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah, a bit obsessive, but that's why what I like about how I teach my students lifetime access, because I know it's an ever growing kind of content. Like I
Mhm.
always update new marketing trend, new marketing strategies, like all of that, and things just evolve and change. That's why I made it
Yeah.
lifetime access, and my
Mhm.
students get access to me through Discord, and I respond to questions like right away. You don't have to wait for a month or like a week to get answers from me
Right.
as a student. So
Mhm. Yeah, and like I said before, Telisa is an amazing resource literally for all things engraving and even calligraphy business. So definitely check out her course. And if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments which engraver you ended up purchasing if you do end up buying one, because we want to know what you're getting and we want to see if this video is going to make a difference with the engraving community. So thank
yeah.
you so much for watching. I know this was a long one, but we'll see you next time. Bye.